And Tennessee, their only downfall for me is their quarterback. I've never been high on their quarterback. I played against him numerous times. I remember when we would scheme against him and we would bring the corners inside the numbers because we knew that he could not throw the ball outside the numbers. He couldn't complete a pass outside the numbers. And one of our analytics guys came in the meeting and said, hey, well, how about we just condense the defense and we can let the guys run outside the numbers. He can't complete it anyway.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another great episode of Symone with the Sports. Today, I have a very special guest. He is Corbin Bryant. You see it on him loud and proud. Former Buffalo Bill defensive lineman, also the co-host of the Herd and Tim podcast. So you guys can go stream and check that out. You can also follow him on Twitter because on NFL Sundays, he's always coming with the hot takes. Even not on Sundays, you stay coming with the takes on Twitter.
I got to educate them, Symone. Some people, we sit down and we watch sports. And as we talk about football, you got to teach people little things that are going on out there on the field so they can understand why people are executing. So I really, I look forward to educating people what's going on out there.
Right. You got to let the people know what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of sideline talkers that don't know the game, Corbin.
Yeah. Got to educate the people. So, as they go down the line, they can teach their kids and they can say, hey, if you need some advice, you maybe even go holler at Corbin, just, DM me. I got you.
So Corbin, you're the perfect person to have on for the Super Bowl prediction because you're somebody that keeps up with all the league, not just one team here and there. So when I was thinking about this video, I was like, Corbin's the perfect guy. Yeah. So let's get to it. We're going to start with the biggest surprises. So Corbin, what's the biggest surprise for you, a team that made it in? And what's the biggest surprise, a team that did not make the cut playoff-wise?
I'll tell you what, Symone, the biggest surprise for me, if I'm looking at the schedule and I'm looking at the teams, the Cincinnati Bengals are a huge surprise. Now, granted, Joe Burrow is a fantastic quarterback. He proved it last year before he got hurt. They needed to get him a little bit of protection. But to go from where they were last year to winning the AFC North, I mean, it was just a fantastic season for them. And the big key for them was picking up a guy like Jamar Chase. I mean, everybody has seen what he's done out there. The guy runs routes like he's a 10-year veteran. He has super speed. He's a guy that's always been on the same page with Joe Burrow because they played together at LSU. So they have a more explosive offense than people think. So they may give some teams some trouble in the playoffs. So that's my biggest surprise for who made it in, but for who did not make it in, it was the LA Chargers.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, looking at what they have great talent. They drafted well. They drafted Rashawn Slater, the left tackle, the guy that they really needed to protect the blind side for Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is in the Pro Bowl. He had an incredible season. Keenan Allen, he's been great. I think he's in maybe his 10th year in the league. He's been always playing fantastic. Their defense is very athletic. They got some great pass rushers. Joey Bosa's coming off the edge. They play a very good brand of defense with Brandon Staley coming over from the LA Rams last year. So I really thought that they were shooing to make it in the way Justin Herbert was playing, but the inconsistencies on offense, them going for it on fourth down too many times really hurt them. And I understand being aggressive. I think over the past few years, the trends have gone towards coaches being more aggressive on fourth down. And you see it in college and in the pro game. Teams, if they are crossing the 50-yard line and they are in that fringe range where okay, we can't kick a field goal, we can't punt it, they're going for it. But in the past, teams will be punting that ball and trying to pin teams deep. So what teams are seeing, they're looking at the analytics because this is, an analytic game now. It's not, not as physical. Everybody's looking at the analytics and they're like, okay, if we go for it on fourth down, it gives us a much bigger chance to score and win. But there's often a time where you push your chips in the middle of the table too many times, right? And that's what the LA Chargers did. They went for it on fourth down too many times. And when you do that, and I don't know if you're a gambler, I don't know if you've ever been to the casino, but I mean, you put it all on black. It's feast or famine. So the LA Chargers are a huge surprise, especially, and the main reason I say that is because they have such a great quarterback.
They do. So you're more surprised by the Chargers than the Colts?
Oh yeah, sure. The Colts, they started out 1-4. Defense super inconsistent. I love Jonathan Taylor. Sure, he can run the ball. Their offensive line is fantastic. Quentin Nelson's a gold jacket player. I always talk about him on the podcast because that's the team that the Bills had the most trouble with this year. I mean, they were running the ball like crazy, but I mean, Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz. I mean, you're an Eagle fan.
Corbin. So I don't have to say thank you.
You're an Eagle fan. You've seen him in action.
Seen material.
You know, and everybody looks at Carson being, he's the number 2 pick, blah blah blah. He can do this and do that, but he's a very inconsistent quarterback. Other than that one year where he was going for the MVP and the Eagles won the Super Bowl and he got hurt, what else has he done? Like he's turned the ball over a ton. He's injury prone. We thought he wasn't even going to play at the beginning of the year because he sprained both of his ankles.
He did.
So have the Colts found their future at quarterback? I don't think so. They're going to have to ride with him because this year's quarterback crop is not as great. So they're going to probably have to wait a year and see if Carson can pull him out of that hole. But without consistent play at quarterback, I was never really high on the Colts, even though they beat my Buffalo Bills into the ground.
No, I agree with you there. The way you laid it out, see, the knowledge. I agree with that. So now we're talking about the teams that's in. Who do you think is the biggest sleeper in we'll start with the NFC since you're an AFC guy.
It's the biggest sleeper. Oh, man. And this is one of my favorite teams. I can't even lie. The San Francisco 49ers. And let me tell you why. They run the ball extremely well. Like I've always admired and loved, and I hated playing against the Shanahan system because the way they run the ball, it is very hard to defend as a defensive lineman. It's more of a, it's better for linebackers because they can run and hit and run through lanes. But as a defensive lineman trying to connect with those linemen as they are running, they're not coming downhill to block. On some plays they do, but they are a full zone team. So they turn and run around you. They don't try to beat you into the ground and push you back. They run around you and seal you off. And that's very hard for defenses to defend. And when you're at the end of the year and you're in the playoffs, and what I have seen, teams that run the ball the best are usually the teams that are grinding through. Now they have Trent Williams, a fantastic left tackle. He's leading that whole group has been playing great. Deebo Samuel, he's just a fantastic player. He's been playing running back and, he's been doing his thing at receiver. And they have a running back by committee as in San Francisco, but that's by design. Like anybody in that scheme can run for 1,000 yards. Like I could probably put you back there and you can run for 1,000 yards. I'm not saying. I'm like dead serious. If you look at the track record of the Shanahan scheme and you look at all the running backs, Terrell Davis, Hall of Fame, but after him, you got Clinton Portis, you got Orlando Scary in Denver, and then and more recently in San Francisco, you have Raheem Mostert. Who is that? Who are these guys? you just put them in there. If you got some speed, you can run it. So I really like San Francisco, and I think they're playing much, much better on defense. As far as
let me I agree with you 1,000% on San Francisco, and I'm a little bit biased because I need them to beat the Cowboys. But in all honesty, the San Francisco 49ers, they're battle tested. Their division is the strongest division. They have to play all those teams twice. They're battle tested, and you can't deny the coaching. Like you talk about Shanahan's system. Shanahan's one of the best coaches in the playoffs right now. So you can't deny that when it comes to 49ers. And of course, like you said, the run game. They're going to stick the run game down these teams' throats, and they're going up against a run defense that's been pretty elite in the Dallas Cowboys. So I agree. That's a sleeper team I don't think people are talking about a lot in the NFC. Now, what about the AFC?
Well, let me frame this up for you real quick. So you have the Tennessee Titans, right? The number one seed. You have the Kansas City Chiefs, who everybody's, the favorite. They finally started playing well at the beginning of the year. They were, even I was kicking the can down the road on. I was like, yeah, these guys aren't any good. But for some reason, all year people have been sleeping on my Buffalo Bills, man.
Come on, Corbin. Nobody's sleeping on y'all. Y'all get all the attention.
I'm dead serious. Name me one person that believes that the Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl, other than the people that live in Buffalo. Like, if you ask people, like, okay, Tennessee, like, yeah, they look good. They got Julio, they got A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry's coming back. They got a bye week. Their defense is playing really well. I mean, their defensive front is just, they have monsters on the defensive front with Jeffrey Simmons and those boys. I mean, those dudes are for real. So when you look at those teams, they're like, yeah, like, they're the favorite, but nobody's making the Buffalo Bills the favorite. I don't think I spoke about the Bengals, but the Bengals are the Bengals. They're going to get knocked out by somebody. The Raiders, looking at what they did against the Chargers, I don't believe in the Raiders. New England Patriots, no, they just don't have it.
You said it, New England Patriots.
Yeah, they don't have it at quarterback. Mac Jones is a good player, and he will continue to improve, but he's not there yet. The Bills are gonna beat them by a few touchdowns this weekend. In Pittsburgh, I don't even need to talk about them. They have no talent.
Ooh.
Big Ben is over the hill. And I love Big Ben. I played with him for a few years. Fantastic fella. But they have no talent. Like, they can't, they're last against the run. And what did I say a few minutes ago? You have to be able to run the ball to win. And they can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop anybody. So they really don't have a chance against Kansas City. So I'm going to go with the team that's, creeping on through, the Buffalo Bills. And let me tell you why. Fantastic quarterback. Josh Allen should be in the Pro Bowl. Try to argue with me if you want to. The dude is one of the best players in the league. The offensive line was struggling all year. The last month of the season, they started playing better. They started blocking better. They started protecting a little bit better. Defense is number one in the league. But the reason why they're sleepers is because can you name me one person on the Buffalo Bills defense right off the top? Anybody?
Nope.
See? But they're the number one defense in the league.
That's true.
Number one.
See, this is the only reason why I don't think the Bills are a sleeper is because y'all have been getting y'all respect. I feel like, Corbin.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it from the fans' view, though. The fans look at, they see a guy like Derrick Henry coming back. He was gonna win the MVP if he didn't get hurt. Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, he's coming back. The boulder's gonna be rolling downhill. Who's gonna stop him? Maybe the number one defense in the league will stop him. Who's gonna stop Patrick Mahomes from throwing it to Hill down the field and all that stuff and doing all that the magic show that they do on offense? The Bills can stop them. The Bills already beat them by 3 touchdowns.
Ooh.
So I'm telling you, man, people better watch out. Nobody believes in the Bills other than myself and Bills Mafia in Western New York. But just wait and watch. And I'm sorry, I did not say Philly, unfortunately.
No, that's fine. I like flying under the radar.
They are not going to beat Tampa.
First of all, Corbin. First of all, Corbin, in the beginning of the season, we was talking, and y'all did not think the Eagles were even going to make the playoffs. Now, realistically, in my heart, do I think Philly can beat the Bucs? In my heart, yes. In my mind, and if I was a betting woman, no, I would never bet against Tom Brady. But Corbin, let me tell you this about my Birds. The first time we played the Buccaneers, we only lost by 6. Jalen Hurts was 44%. We only had 70 yards rushing, and we still only lost by 6. They had Antonio Brown, they had Godwin, they had Leonard Fournette, and we still only lost by 6. We were going up against Tom Brady, our 6th game of the season, Nick Sirianni was still figuring things out as a coach. Jonathan Gannon was still figuring things out as defensive coordinator. We didn't get one sack on Brady. Jalen Hurts was 44%, one of his most terrible games. And we were still in that game. We were still marching down the field. Did not get a pass interference call we could have got. Now, I'm not sleeping on the Bucs. Their run, I know we've been the most rushing team, but we've been playing sorry defenses. I do take that into account. But we did add Jordan Howard. So we didn't have Jordan Howard when we played the Bucs the first time. So now Jordan Howard has been an integral part of this new run defense. So we have Miles and Jordan Howard. So I feel like if we can get at least 120 yards on the ground, Jalen Hurts can.
That's not happening. I mean, you got to think of who you have to run through. You have to run through Vita Vea, Levante David.
Yes, Corbin, but listen. AB had 13 targets the first game. AB murked us, single-handedly murked the Eagles. AB is not going to be there, and neither is Godwin. Even with AB and Godwin, and even with Jalen Hurts having a sorry game, Jalen Hurts was only 44%, and we were still in that game.
Well, let me tell you about who the Bucs do have. They have Mike Evans.
They have him when we played.
They have a guy that is the greatest tight end in the history of the National Football League in Rob Gronkowski. And let me tell you another thing about Tom Brady, because unfortunately I lost to him many times in my career. The dude, it don't matter who's out there. Tom Brady is the golden boy.
He is.
Right? Like whoever is out there, he has some type of touch on that ball to where anybody can catch it. Because I've seen people go from the Patriots, right, catching his balls, to other teams just dropping the ball and just, I mean, it's just been a tragedy for some players when they left New England.
No, so, I agree with you 1,000%. I don't think we're going to win, but I don't think people are giving us enough respect in this game. The only reason why
and how do you give respect? How do you do that?
Well, first of all, Corbin, y'all haven't even beat the Patriots yet. You talking a lot of talk, Corbin.
If you want to go into the stats, and I can give you.
No, I'm saying people are acting like we're going to go in Tampa and get mollywopped. I'm saying we didn't get mollywopped.
It's not going to be good for you guys,
huh?
It's not going to be good for y'all.
Well, let me tell you this then, Corbin and the Bills. Let me give you this stat. So, first of all, I know you're going to shoot me down, but I still got to get it out there. The last time Tom Brady played the Eagles in the playoffs, we won a Super Bowl, okay? Now, I know we had a different defense. We had a different defense, but I'm saying Tom Brady has been saying on all his little podcasts, the Eagles were the team he did not want to play. 2, let me say this about your Bills, though. Let me say this. Now, when Tom Brady plays an NFC East team in the postseason, either Tom Brady wins or that NFC East team wins. So it'll either be the Eagles or Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, if you're an analytics person, like you said.
Listen, you can say all you want. Like if the Bucs had any other quarterback, I would be with you. But the game could be super close. I mean, it may not be a blowout, but don't let Tom Brady get that ball with 1 minute left. It's over with.
I know.
It's over with. I mean, the man has finished so many teams. I mean, you get the ball with even 30 seconds left on the 30-yard line. I mean, are you kidding me? So, am I a Bucs fan? I'm not a Bucs fan for all those that are listening. But I'm just a realist. I just keep it real.
I'm a realist too.
Like I've been there. I've seen it. I know what it takes. And I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's the guy that's going to get paid. I think he's the Eagles' future. I mean, coming in, I didn't think he could throw the ball, but his last year's rookie year, he really impressed me throwing the rock. I mean, he makes some incredible throws, but the Bucs are just they're going to be a little too much for him. I mean,
they are. Look, I'm not saying, I do not think, like I said, your heart, you know how it is. You
yeah. Trust me. Now, I know.
Do I think we're going to be, it's Tom Brady, like you said, he is Tom Brady. He's a mastermind, okay? Do I think we're going to beat Tom Brady? Again, we lost by 6, but Tom found a way to win. Even though they weren't having the best game, we weren't having the best game. It's still all about the decision-making on those last drives. But I think people think the Eagles just going to go in and get rolled over. That's not the case.
Yeah, this is the playoffs. They're gonna give it everything they got. You know, we're gonna have some trick plays here and there, but here's what I say about matchups like this, because it's really like a one in six matchup. Well, the playoffs have changed. They gave one team a bye week, but when you're in that type of environment, the Eagles are going to come out there and they're going to hit them and they're going to try. But if they go down 14-0, I mean, they might as well just start packing for Cancun, because I mean it's hot down there. They get ready to go on vacation. I mean, a good season.
They go right to the training room, get ready for August.
Good season for the Eagles, man. I tell you what, I will say that, but unfortunately, the road stops here.
Corbin, you cut the road. You cut the road. So I
keep it real.
Corbin, who do you have? Okay, so not the Eagles, we know, but who do you have coming out? So you got the Bills coming out the AFC.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who do you have coming out the NFC?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, do I have to make a pick? I mean, Jesus Christ.
It's really hard.
Ooh. Man, I just love the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they number 12 is the engine that makes it go. I mean, he missed one game with COVID or in the COVID protocols, whatever you want to call it, and they looked awful out there. I mean, I forgot who they played, but it wasn't a good team and they got stomped. Mm-hmm. But you insert the probable MVP into the equation, the whole team changes. I mean, granted, and he has the best receiver in the league in Devonta Adams. I mean, if you watch this guy run routes, it's just like one DB on him just doesn't have you just don't have a chance against the guy. And then you roll the coverage over to him and you got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I mean, you have those two running. You got Aaron Jones. You got AJ Dillon. I mean, they have everything you need on offense. They got lightning and thunder running the ball in the backfield. They have a very solid offensive line. And they're getting David Bakhtiari back too, and they have a bye week to get healthy. And the NFC goes through the cup. I don't know if you've ever been that far north, but it gets pretty cold up there. Mm-mm. So, and I know Tampa went there last year and won, but for some reason, I think Aaron Rodgers is on a mission to finish out his career in Green Bay because he's not coming back. I just don't. It's financially, it's just not.
I thought you meant.
No, I don't think he's going to retire, but I don't think unless he just is willing to take that pay cut, in which knowing Aaron Rodgers, he's not taking a pay cut. Why would you do that when you're the best player in the league? But they can't afford him. So somebody's going to have to figure something out. But he's going to try and go out from Green Bay in the swan song. And I just don't see, I'm looking down my list right now. Tampa, it's hard to bet against Tom Brady, but I just think Aaron Rodgers is playing on another level. Dallas is going to lose to San Francisco.
My man.
Yeah, they are. Dallas, and it's tough to say that. Not tough to say it, but it's tough to see Dallas. They have so much talent. They have so much talent, and it just never lives up to it.
But what is it? Because they tried to say, was it Jason Garrett? They got rid of Jason Garrett, and they still in the same boat. So what?
They have this all-star coaching staff. I don't think too highly of Mike McCarthy, but they have great assistants. Dan Quinn. They got one of the greatest offensive line coaches in Joe Philbin. they have an all-star cast of coaches, but they're just so inconsistent on offense. And it's just so tough to watch. I don't know. I don't think it's Dak Prescott, but I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with scheme or something like that. But
the culture, maybe.
Yeah, the culture. I think Jerry has something to do with that. But their defense, when they play lights out. They have one of the greatest corners I've seen. I think the fella, what's his name? Diggs. I think he has 11 picks. Mm-hmm. Who does that? Right. So, we'll see what they do, but they're not going to beat San Francisco. That's just not.
They're not going to beat San Francisco and then go on to beat a Green Bay or go on to beat the winner of the Cards Rams. It's just too tough.
I just don't see. They've just been too inconsistent. But yeah, I'm going with Green Bay. I mean, it's just, I mean, as much as I hate to say, I'm a Chicago guy. Used to grow up cheering for the Bears, but the Bears have given me and everyone else from Chicago nothing to cheer for the past, let's see, I want to say 25, 30 years. I mean, we went to the Super Bowl, but we knew we weren't going to beat Peyton Manning in 05. So, but Green Bay it is.
Green Bay. So, Green Bay, Bills. You want to say the Bills so bad, but
listen, man. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I'm going to choose the Bills, but let me tell you why. I'm not just choosing them just because, I represent those guys. But I mean, the Bills have a fantastic secondary one. They have a great defensive coordinator, and they have a great head coach. Like I said before, nobody knows anyone on that defense, except for me, because I watch them every week, and everybody, in Western New York. But Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, they do a great job in the back end. They're pretty much the quarterbacks of the defense, and the Bills have been without Tre'Davious White for the past, I guess the second half of the season, because he tore his ACL, which we thought was going to be a huge pitfall for the Bills. But Dane Jackson and in the other corner, I'm sorry, I'm slipping on his name, Levi Wallace, have done a fantastic job doing their defensive scheme. So, we're going to have to, it's going to be one of those games where we're going to have to rush the pass. We're going to have to figure out a way to get to Aaron Rodgers. But I believe in Josh Allen. I think like I say, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He gives you so much of a threat to run and pass. He's become such an accurate passer that you're going to have to try to find a way to double Diggs. But again, when you double somebody, that leaves his other guys open, like Gabriel Davis, Cole Beasley. I mean, those guys, the Bills' offense is more explosive than people think. And the last 2-3 weeks of the season, the Bills have been establishing the run game, which again, in the playoffs, is huge. You have to be able to run the ball to win. Like, I don't care if you have Tom Brady. I don't care if you have Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if you got Johnny Unitas. I don't care who you got. You got to be able to run the football. And the Bills have proven the last couple of weeks that they can do it, and they have to continue to do that as the playoffs go on. So, if I were to pick a score, I would put it more in a shootout, because the Green Bay Packers defense is not great. The Green Bay Packers play off of Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers gets them up 14-0. It makes the defense a little bit more aggressive. But when the games are a little bit tighter, the defense has to play a little bit more of a balanced form of defense instead of just pass rushing. So I would say it would be 32-27.
A thriller.
I'm going with the Bills for the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Okay. No surprise there.
No surprise. I mean, I wish I could give you a surprise, but like I said, Symone, I'm a realist. I'm not gonna come out of the woodwork and say, "Oh yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers, just watch out for Pittsburgh."
No, I'm talking about
Pittsburgh ain't got a player.
You Bills down. I'm saying no surprise there. You pick the Bills.
Yeah, yes, it's no surprise, but I believe in what the Bills can do. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I believe that Kansas City's defense has improved. Yeah. But I don't think they've improved to the point where they can stop what the Bills are doing on the offense. And Tennessee, their only downfall for me is their quarterback. I've never been high on their quarterback. I played against him numerous times. I remember when we would scheme against him, and we would bring the corners inside the numbers because we knew that he could not throw the ball outside the numbers. He couldn't complete a pass outside the numbers. And one of our analytics guys came in the meeting and said, "Hey, well, how about we just condense the defense and we can let the guys run outside the numbers? He can't complete it anyway." But I mean, and I don't think he's improved that much over the years. What has made him better is their run game and him having some better weapons on the outside. But I don't believe in Ryan Tannehill. No. So let's see. That knocks out the top two. So that brings me to the Bills. So there you go. No, that's an educated answer.
Yeah, you gave some reasoning. And like I said, I do not feel like people have been asleep on the Bills. No, I'm not the Bills, the Titans. the Chiefs were my top teams. The only reason why I wasn't extremely high on the Chiefs is because their defense could just be inconsistent sometimes. But if the Bills defense as locked down as you say it is, then yeah, I ain't mad at
number one in the
number
league.
one. Yeah, number one.
They are number one in the league.
They are number one, but okay, and we're the number one rushing team. But does that mean we as locked down?
Yeah, that's rushing. We're talking total defense, passing and running. We stop everything.
You gotta be weak. Like I said,
so if y'all were the number one rushing and the number one passing team, then maybe y'all would not be 9-8. But
you got a lot. You got a lot of mouth for you, Corbin. Like I said, this weekend, Bill Belichick.
I'm really excited about it, man. And and I'm not naive to the fact that the Patriots have Bill Belichick.
No, I still had the Bills over the Patriots just because, like you said, defense and rookie quarterback first time. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and it's. I looked at the because we recorded our show yesterday, and we looked at the weather. 25 degrees. It's gonna be freezing out there. So you know what that means. And Mac Jones is from Alabama. I mean, I don't think he's from Alabama. He's from somewhere in the South.
He spent a lot of time in Tuscaloosa, though.
Yeah. So coming up to the bitter cold, it ain't gonna be good for him.
That's gonna be a fun game. This whole weekend, everything is so unpredictable still at the same time, which makes it fun.
Yeah. It's gonna be I think these are the best matchups that we could have received, other than the Cincinnati Raiders. I don't like the Raiders. I just don't think they're. I mean, they're just. Well, I guess I can say Kansas City and Pittsburgh too. But boy, I mean, look at the teams that fell off the radar. You got the Cleveland Browns. Remember, people were crowning them. Like, yeah, the Cleveland Browns. They're probably gonna win the AFC North. I mean, they are out of the.
And the Browns are like the Cowboys, like you said, because my mom's a Steelers fan, so I've watched a lot of Browns, Ravens, Steelers. The Browns are like the Cowboys. They just like they had all the talent, but just something is
it's just something in the air in Cleveland that just doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right.
Yeah, like the two. I mean, if we want to go that far, the two most disappointing teams are the Browns. The Browns and the Chargers. I was going to say the Ravens, but I mean, they had so many injuries.
Exactly.
I mean, they are just grateful to even be where they are. To even win like 8 games.
They had a position to win last week, even with
and they had no play. Lamar Jackson wasn't even out there. I mean, they were on like their 5th running back. I mean, their O-line was depleted. I mean, their secondary depleted. What's his name? Marcus Peters tore his ACL. I mean, that dude's a great player. I mean, you lose your best players and you're still able to win 8 games. I mean, you got to give kudos to John Harbaugh. Right. I mean that this was supposed to be a season where they were going for the number 1 pick the way guys were getting hurt.
Right.
They had, I would say, 10 to 15 guys of their top guys on injury reserve before the season started. So, but yeah, there's been some disappointments, but not like I like the Browns or the Chargers. It's just, just do better.
Right, do better. Do better. Like take a page out the Eagles book. You know what I'm saying? Not the best roster.
Not the best, but I'll tell you what, like I said before, kudos to the Eagles, man. They just have a tough matchup this weekend. It's just not gonna be easy.
We'll see. Like I said,
we'll see.
We flying under the radar.
If they do something, I'm gonna tweet at you, and we gonna we gonna have a conversation.
It's a lot. You got a lot at stake on Sunday. You talked a lot of trash about the Eagles. You hyped up the Bills. So I hope. Y'all play Saturday?
We play Saturday at 8:15.
Yeah, I really do hope this weekend go in your favor.
It will, because I just know. I will say this, barring like any like injury, injuries, put that out the window. Everybody healthy, all things even. We're gonna have the Bucs winning. We're gonna have the Rams winning. We're gonna have the Niners.
Why you had the Rams over the Cards though?
Cardinals have just been falling off the radar. They're going into the playoffs like this, trending down. You got to go into the playoffs trending up. Now, granted, all right, the Rams lost to the 49ers, but the 49ers are doing that. Mm-hmm. So they played a really good team on Sunday.
And the 49ers were playing to get in, so they were playing with like a fire under them because they had a win.
Right. And I like the Los Angeles star power, man. I like OBJ. I like Stafford. I like Cooper Kupp. I mean, I think he is a superstar. Jalen Ramsey. I mean, the list goes on and on. I think they're gonna send the Cardinals packing, man. Mainly because, and the Cardinals are a good team. I think Kyler Murray is a great player, but they're doing that. Like I don't like that. I don't like when you're going into the playoffs with a losing mindset. They're getting JJ Watt back, okay, but how in shape is he going to be out there? Because I've been there. I've come off injuries, and I did all the little conditioning that trainers told me to do, but there's nothing like out there playing football. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see if he can even get 20 plays out there. But I don't like the Cardinals this weekend. Only for that fact only. Not that they're a bad team.
Yeah.
I think they have a good coach.
Division. This third time they playing each other. That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a battle. It's not like it's going to be a blowout or anything. But I like the Rams, and they're at home. I mean, the Rams fans are fantastic. So it's not like the Chargers fans. The Chargers games will be, it'll be whoever the other team is in there for whatever reason.
Right, for whatever reason. But Corbin, I appreciate you coming on here, dropping all the knowledge, giving some good takes. You was, like I said, you're a reasonable guy. That's why I needed you on there. You're a reasonable guy. That's why I appreciate it. So you got the Bills.
Go ahead.
31-27 win in the Super Bowl over the Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is not because I'm wearing this. It's educated. It's educated.
Just education. Guys, make sure you check out Corbin Bryant. Like I said, check him out on Twitter because during the week, during the season, he's giving his takes, dropping his knowledge on Twitter. And also check out the Herd and 10 podcast. He's Bills Mafia player, now turned commentator for the Bills. So the Herd and 10 podcast on the Believe Podcast Network. You guys can check that out. Get Corbin's takes. Is it weekly? Are y'all off season too? Like y'all?
Yep, we will be weekly throughout the year. Okay,
so every week, make sure you guys check him out. And make sure you guys give this video a like, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed and turn your notification bells on. And until I talk to you guys next time, bye.